I was supposed to call him at 7:10.
Jeez.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone.
If he started his day.
Yeah, I blew it.
John Ziegler.
John, I'm so glad you're there. I'm sorry, I'm just a little late, just a couple hours, give or take, 10 minutes. Sorry about that.
I wish you just would have let me know. That's all.
Well, we're live on the radio right now, John.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's pretend we're all happy and loving each other, and we'll just move on. We just
My good friend Bob. How
are you? There we go. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
All right. Now, you and I have been talking via the internet here for a couple of weeks, trying to get this thing put together. And I got to tell you something. It came together almost perfectly, I would say. You couldn't ask for things to fall into place any better. You are the man behind the film Media Malpractice. Tell us about this wonderful film that you have been a part of and is getting rave reviews all across the country.
Well, Bob, Media Malpractice, and the subtitle is How Obama Got Elected and Palin Was Targeted, has basically been my passion for the last 8 months. I purchased our website domain name, howobamagotelected.com, back in June of last year. And really, I wanted to make sure that somebody documented in a substantial form for the historical record what really happened with regard to the media coverage of the 2008 presidential election. And people in Anchorage have probably heard about this film in the context of the exclusive interview that we did with Governor Palin back in January at her home in Wasilla. And that really is the foundation for the second half of the film. And on the DVD is actually a special feature. We put the entire Governor Palin interview on the DVD as a special feature, uncut, unplugged, so people can see the real Governor Palin. And we have been screening this film all across the country to rave reviews, usually standing ovations. And we're very, very excited that thanks to you guys, we're going to be able to come to Anchorage on the 28th of May at the Fireweed Theater. And we're looking for a big crowd there and get as many people as possible to see this film, which is both educational and entertaining as hell, because I got to tell you, this is almost a documentary comedy. The most prevalent reaction of the crowds we've had across the country has been laughter at all the right places, because it's really a situation with regard to the media coverage that if you're not going to cry, you might as well laugh. It's one or the other, and people have chosen to laugh at this. But it's also a very important topic and issue, and we think we proved the case that the media coverage of the 2008 election in general, and specifically with regard to Governor Palin, was beyond unfair. It was dangerous. It was unprecedented, regardless of your political persuasion.
Let me ask you this. Doing this film, I mean, we have to understand that you did this film quite a while ago when everything was still white hot. Did you have any resistance from anybody?
Well, I mean, the media coverage of this film has actually proven my point more than anything I could put in the film. I mean, it's been amazing. We did the Obama voter video on Election Day and did not one but two scientific polls to back that up. The video went 2.2 million YouTube views. People can still see it at our website at howobamagotelected.com. And the media coverage of those poll results was hilarious. As a matter of fact, the first polling institute we used, the Zogby organization, which I'm sure most people have heard of, wouldn't even do a second poll with us because of all the left-wing media backlash against them. And then, of course, when we did the Governor Palin interview and we released some snippets on YouTube, the media coverage of that was an absolute abomination, trying to manipulate those clips, take them out of context, try to portray Governor Palin as exactly what she is not, which was somehow she was whining. She was the last thing Governor Palin is doing in any of this is whining. People obviously in Anchorage know this better than here in the lower 48. She's setting the record straight. She was clearly wronged by the media coverage, and all she's doing is telling the truth. And if telling the truth is whining, then we've got a really, really big problem. And then, of course, when the film came out and I introduced it on the Today Show on a live interview from New York with Matt Lauer, that's when the attacks on me really began, especially on MSNBC. It was almost as if when MSNBC was interviewing me and I had the gall to defend Governor Palin, it was like I was the cops and they were O.J. Simpson. They were O.J. Simpson interviewing the cops after the murders. I mean, that was how ridiculous it was. Here they had basically done the character assassination on Governor Palin, and they were upset at me for going ahead and telling the truth about what really happened. So it's really been an Alice in Wonderland type situation, and I'm used to it, as is Governor Palin. But when you tell the truth, you got to be prepared for this kind of stuff.
Did you ever make the worst people list on Oberman?
Oh, yes, I did. As a
Then
matter
you
of fact.
made it.
Yes, it's one of the most proud moments of my career.
Yeah,
I have
buddy.
been named one of the worst people in the world by one of the worst people in the world, Keith Oberman.
Unbelievable.
The thing that's funny is you bring up Keith Oberman.
Unreal.
Is they rail and rally against the very thing that they do on a daily basis on their show.
That's right.
Yeah, the irony is rather thick, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really remarkable. But while there is some Keith Oberman in my film, I didn't want to go for the easy targets.
Right.
I mean, we put Oberman and Chris Matthews in there simply for comic relief, but this went way beyond just the left-wing extremists. This went into the mainstream. This went into flat-out lies. It's continuing, as you guys know today. Obviously, the media and some of the media in Anchorage has taken part in this. The Anchorage Daily News, when the day we interviewed Governor Palin from her home, was still trying to sniff around on this, the bogus story about Trigg. I mean, the whole thing is just an abomination, and that's just the scratching the surface of it. And we're really excited to come to Anchorage because we want people there to know that what they feel in their heart about Governor Palin really is true, to set the record straight in an educational and entertaining way. We hope to get a lot of people out to the Fireweed Theater, and if we get enough people and we make a profit from the ticket sales, we're going to be donating that to Toys for Tots, so it's all going to go for a good cause, and we hope people will join us on the 28th.
Yeah, I think it's important, that everybody understands this isn't about making a bunch of money, and this isn't something that Sarah Palin was behind. The Palin family, their only interest in this is that they're in it.
They're in it,
and this man took it upon himself. Now, whether you're a fan of Sarah Palin or not a fan of Sarah Palin, I think it's fair to see another side of these issues.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not a fan of Michael Moore at all.
Right.
But I went to see his documentaries.
Yeah.
I go to see it because I like to have a broad sense of what people are thinking, where they're coming from. I get where they're coming from.
Right.
I want to see how they're presenting it. And, it was fascinating to me to watch you, Mr. Ziegler, get arrested on the campus of USC trying to give away copies of this film while Katie Couric was getting the Walter Cronkite Journalism Award for her interview.
Well, yeah, people should go to our website and see the video of this.
Oh, my God.
It's absolutely remarkable. If you go to howobamagotElected.com, and you'll see not only the raw video, but the appearance I did on Fox News Channel with Greta Van Susteren about this, just to get people up to speed real quick, because this is an astonishing situation. Katie Couric, at the very moment, Katie Couric is getting the Walter Cronkite Journalism Award from USC here in Los Angeles for her Sarah Palin interview. I am literally not able to give away copies of my Sarah Palin interview, the uncut version, which CBS never released the uncut version of theirs. My version, which it tells the truth about what really happened in that Katie Couric interview, because Governor Palin was unedited in my version. I can't give away copies of my Sarah Palin interview because my hands are literally behind my back in handcuffs as I'm under arrest, clearly because I was targeted because of my prior speech on the issue. I had written a Fox News op-ed piece and gone on Fox News Channel to discuss the outrageous nature of Katie Couric getting an award for what was not journalism, but instead was advocacy disguised as journalism. She was clearly being rewarded for the result or the perceived result of her interview with Governor Palin. And by the way, if you're going to give an award for impact on the election, I think Tina Fey should have filed a grievance against USC because she probably deserved the award more than Katie Couric. But I did absolutely nothing remotely wrong. People can see the full video for themselves. I was roughed up. I had my microphone taken away, my BlackBerry taken away. I was told I was under arrest, told I would be booked by the LAPD. I was detained for 25 minutes. The whole thing was an absolute abomination, and we're going to be pursuing all of our legal rights to the full extent of the law. I can assure you of that.
I tell you what, John Ziegler, you're fired up.
Well, this is a point of great passion for me.
Yeah.
I know, even before I met Governor Palin, I knew what the truth of this was, as you guys did, and you guys deserve a lot of credit for standing up for the truth when it comes to the Palin family and what's really going on there. This is an absolute travesty, regardless of your political persuasion. It's dangerous, it's unprecedented, and if we allow this precedent to be set in stone, it's only going to get worse in the future. This is about the nature of our democracy and the kind of country we're going to live in, and I'm really excited that we're going to be able to show this film to hopefully a very large crowd at the Fireweed Theater on May 28th.
All right, now,